Howdy y'all, you got the Bulldog on the channel. I'm here with my '07 Honda VTX 1300, and it's got some issues with the rear tire. This job is made a whole lot easier with a lift, but we're gonna put a rear tire on this thing and get her back on the road. Let's get after it. Okay, we got it up on the jack. Now this is what I like to use for doing this job because they're handy. I got a hydraulic jack under the other side because I couldn't find this yet. Somebody found it for me. So I just jacked up this side, and the other side's with another jack. We got it strapped hard in the front end so that it can't tip side to side, and the front wheel's clamped. I might not put a emphasis on safety, but yeah, I try to do a little bit of something. Now this one's got a deal that you can take out of here after you get the tire up off of the lift, and that makes it a whole lot easier. You can just take that thing out underneath instead of fighting to get it out from underneath the fender like I've had to do on others. Now since this is a shaft drive, we don't have to deal with the chain. It's a whole lot easier. We take off this axle right here, take off this nut, and I'll have to take the bolt off up here, and that'll take the caliper bracket loose. When we get the caliper bracket out of there, that's the spacer to push the wheel over into the final drive. We set the wheel this way and it should pop right out. I've had this out before, but it's been a while. All right, we got the brake caliper off. We got the cable, well, it's the brake hose unbolted from this bracket. Now we'll get this bracket up out of here. There we go. There we go. Yeah. We should be able to just grab this, move it sideways, and drop it right out. Just like that. See, I wanted to do that. It was perfect. I don't know where the tread went. It just it might have vanished. I'm not sure. That's not my fault. Okay, we got one of these old cheap Harbor Freight bead breaker tire machines. We really don't use it much anymore, but I'll have to break the bead on this. Hopefully it doesn't go too hard. I got a board sitting here so that we don't scuff up and bend the rotor trying to push on it. That wouldn't be very smart. Now, okay.
Yep.
Side.
There's one.
I can just put the board flat for this side. There we go.
And that's how you break a bead.
Okay, we've still got our boards here. Lay them down so we don't scuff up the drive gear. Lay that across there. Make sure we are hop down off of our bead. I haven't really looked at this. I assume that it's symmetrical. It is. Car tires, the drop center is off center, so you have to pull them off a certain way. I don't think that's the case with these. It's Got some old car tire spoons. Set this down so that when it pulls it into the center and it pops up easy. Be careful about getting into that rotor if you choose to take it off this side. Okay. Now, once you got one side popped, lift this out. Double it over. Take your soft face hammer. And knock it right off the rim. Just like that. Reverse removal to install. I'm kidding, I'll show you. We got our new rim tire here. And we got our Make It Work Easy juice. A little bit of Vaseline makes everybody happier. But it also, since it slides easy, it keeps it from damaging the rubber. That rubber's going to want to grip. And sometimes it grips enough to tear. That's why it's important to lube it up before you stick it in. The tire. All right. Now, most motorcycle tires sold today are directional. You don't have to figure it out because they will say on them, whether by word or with an arrow, usually both, what direction they go. Right here, there's an arrow pointing this way. It runs this way. This is the left side. So this is how we go. Here, let me put it on from the other side. Like this. This side goes down. Set it over there. And let's see if we can do it with one spoon. Come on. go. Next side. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Stick our core back in. And give her some air. You should balance your tires. I don't have a balancer, so I'm not going to. It's got this yellow dot here. You should line it up with the valve stem, if I can. Boom! Boom. Yeah, there we go. We'll set our air pressure later. All right, we're ready to go back in now. I'm not going to worry about this tag. It'll wear itself off. Okay, I went ahead and buffed up our pin and cleaned out the hole real good. Now we're going to French this bracket back in here. See if I can do that. Oh. I don't know where that was on the pucker factor, but it was pretty up there.
Yeah.
There we go. I got started.
Got started?
Yeah. Main part is getting this thing started. And then you just start pumping it in with your soft face hammer. Work it a little bit with your pry bar. Bop on that axle over there a little bit. yeah, keep going. And there we go, that's good. We'll get this nut started on here. Now, rotate the bracket down, get this pivot pin bolt put in. Yeah, so you need to put it here. There you go. Okie doke. I reset the idle on it because it was idling just a freckle high. But we got the back end all put back together. I checked pressure on the tire. We're setting at 30. It might be a little high, but I'm just going to leave it there. Put 25 in the front one. And see, we got the brake bracket. I had to lube up that front pin a little bit before I put it back in, crank that down. I run the axle in and then tighten the nut. That's how I always do it. You know, just make sure everything's setting good. Brakes are good. I had to bleed them out here a couple years ago, and they have been fine since. I can't explain why they all of a sudden went out, but bike's ready to run now. So stay tuned. We got one more thing coming up. It'll be shortly, and hopefully you stop back in to see that. Like, comment, subscribe, hit your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.